Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Affinity Stream Podcast. I'm Contrell, joined as always, Charlie, Sarah, Riley. How are you guys?
Good.
Awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Today's
perfect.
movie, perfect. Yeah. Today's movie is another Oscar-nominated film, Anatomy of a Fall, 2023, rated R. Runtime of 2 hours.
You're a pirate.
30.
Alrighty.
Rated R, runtime of 2 hours, 31 minutes. And spoilers are ahead if you have not seen this movie. A woman is suspected of her husband's murder, and their partially sighted son is a key witness. Before we get started, please get in touch with us on our socials. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Affinity Streaming Podcast. We would appreciate it. Anatomy of a Fall, directed by Justine Triet, released August 23rd, 2023 in France. It is currently nominated for Best Picture in the 2024 Oscars.
Best Picture?
Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Sandra Hüller. Critics, Rotten Tomatoes 96%, audience 89%, 7.4 on Film Affinity. Charlie,
Yeah.
start us out.
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I don't know why I thought I would love it. But
Yeah, you had a lot
You
of
had high
expectations.
hopes.
yeah, I had high expectations. I don't know why. It just looked like a good drama. I don't know. Something was, missing for me. Maybe it's just because it's French. I haven't seen a lot of French movies. I was really thrown off by the French court system.
Same. I was like asking Sarah, I'm like, what happens in France? Like, is this normal?
People just talking.
Yeah, they were just talking.
Yeah, I was thinking like a French Law and Order must be like off the walls,
Yeah.
just people like shouting and yelling at each other. But like,
I haven't been, but I think that it's not as accurate as the reality. I hope.
But because I was like, a lot of that stuff was like that just would never fly. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of like just speculation that they'd be like, you
Oh
can't
my
do that.
god, that was.
It was
yeah.
like all speculation.
Yeah, it was insane.
But anyway, all that aside, I thought it was really well acted. I just really liked it.
I completely
story.
agree. I enjoyed it so much. The thing that it was like maybe 50, 60, 70% in French was like a little like it wasn't difficult to follow because I understand some, but at the same time I felt like I could have appreciated more if I knew like both languages like very like down. I had like the languages down. But at the same time, I'm so happy to see a well-written script and like how they guide you through the story,
Yeah.
like from the very like the fact that happened, and then like they make me always like be like hesitant about what did she do it or I don't know. I was like what is like the roles like son role, you know, like what's happening. Like I was very intrigued and for the
Yeah.
characters, and I felt like it wasn't like as budget wise, I think it wasn't like very crazy. So it's also like you can have like a very good movie with not like those special effects and big soundtracks and everything, but it's still like it hits you. So I think like there was well acted. I think the boy was like stunning. I think the boy was
Oh, yeah, it
great.
was great.
Like the worst part for me was like I will tell about that later, but I was like just like it was a little off about like all the quality of the court like stuff. It was like a little like low quality of like comparing with other scenes for me.
Well, that's how French courts are.
So,
That's
yeah,
why
we
I'm
don't
like,
know,
I'm
we don't
completely
know.
Lost.
Yeah.
But I felt like
I
the
was like,
prosecutor.
It's like where was the jury? I'm so
I don't
confused.
know,
They were just like
They were- I think they were
interspersed
sitting
with
up
like
there.
the
I
I
judge.
think they were, yeah. Because
And-
like then
Yeah.
the room was empty, like the
It
audience
was
was
very
gone, and the jury was
confusing.
still
It was
there.
very confusing. It wasn't.
So weird.
It was weird. It was weird. It
Our
wasn't.
European viewers are like these ignorant Americans.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I'm
that's
sorry.
like if that's really how your court system works in France, like I'm sorry because like anyone on trial, that is not a great position to be in. It's like they're basically like guilty until proven innocent instead of the opposite. It was insane. But I agree with everything Sarah and Charlie said. I think it was a very good movie. The acting was by far like the best part. I thought all the main characters were incredible. and the dog as well. Like
Oh, the dog.
that dog, I googled it because I was like, how did they do that scene? But it literally was acted. Like they trained the dog to do that, to like have its tongue out and look sick and all of that. And I was
Wow.
like, are you kidding
That was
me?
very impressive.
It's crazy, but so well
I mean,
acted.
huskies are smart. So.
And what?
Like the breed of the dog, they're this type of, they're like very smart, so they
I
could
know,
do it
but
with
still,
them.
like you need like such good training for it.
Yeah, you mentioned
Anyway.
the kid. His name was Milo Machado.
He was
Verde.
fantastic.
He was like delivering so good. I was like, I do believe you. And I feel like maybe with kids, they're not that self-conscious and they just like live it all out. So I think maybe for like young actors, it's even like easier to portray those things. But at the same time, I feel like he had like a huge weight on the film, in the film.
Absolutely.
And I felt for him so much.
They actually, just because it's related, it actually said like casting him was like a 2.5 year process because he didn't fit the character description they wanted. They wanted someone with blonde hair to look, because they already had the main lady, and they actually wanted someone that was visually impaired because he's normal sighted in real life. But after like audition after audition after audition, they were like, he just kept killing it, and like we couldn't help but cast him because of how good he was, and how like it was like, overlook the hair, it doesn't matter, like look at the performance he's giving.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is
So
weird.
you can dye
Hair
it.
does matter.
You can dye it.
Yeah, you can do so many.
Or maybe the dad had brown hair.
Exactly.
What is it?
I mean,
the
the
dad
dad
did have
had-
dark
Yeah.
hair, so it was fine.
And that's a dominant like gene. So
You gotta be true to the
It's
source material.
yeah.
Favorite scene.
what do you think about it though?
What did I think about it? I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great.
I liked it.
I like
Yeah, I
it.
liked it.
It was
Period.
good.
It's good.
Yeah, period. That's-
Okay.
So I'll go. Well, I'll talk about my favorite scene then, since
Okay.
you want me to talk.
yeah, you should talk to.
Favorite scene. There was like a moment in the courtroom where the boy was just standing there, and the two lawyers were just talking over him, and you could just see him like going back.
Oh,
and forth.
the
Watching
camera
them.
choices.
Yeah, and the camera. Because the camera focused on him, and their voices were in the distance, and he was just like watching them like yell back and forth.
That's
And I thought
yeah.
that
I
was,
thought that was
a
on
great-
purpose. They
great-
did that like production wise. They did that when like on him, like when the jury and people were talking back and forth, and also when the son like discovered like the body. They were like put the camera on the dog at the beginning, and when like the police and everything was happening, we were just like seeing the dog. So I don't know why they did it. I kept maybe like an intuition about it, because that was on purpose, and that was like very like thought of, like was it deliberate, like yeah, whatever. I think like it was interesting, and we don't usually see that in American productions, so
You see that.
not as much. They
Well, I mean,
They
if you're
kept the
comparing to, like,
moments
Marvels,
longer.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
You
but
can find,
they
like,
kept the-
Oppenheimer or like the other.
Yeah.
Anything compared to the Marvel.
they
stuff,
kept
right?
they kept the moments longer as usual. For example,
They did leave the moments longer.
when they're the
But
mom
I guess it means like you're comparing it to like a very good French movie,
But
and like it's not fair to compare it to just all American. cinema.
compare it like to the holdovers.
That's what I mean.
Like I feel like those were a little bit.
Well, there's like a different point to those movies.
There was, but I also felt like in both of them they extended scenes, like
exactly.
not
I
more
don't.
than needed.
I didn't
but-
notice in holdovers. I noticed it in here.
Yeah, well, there's a very specific point to this movie. But it shows for the kid in the court scene. That's to like show like it doesn't really matter what they're saying. They're just arguing back and forth.
Yes.
It's,
Yes.
like, what's
Exactly.
going on in his mind.
Favorite scenes.
Well, it's not my favorite scene, but it was definitely like the most impactful scene is when the dog is sick, and like trying to understand. I was like, why did he do that? Like I was so like caught off guard. I was eating and I like had to put my food down and like stop, and I did not want to watch. I was just like so disturbed by the scene, but like
Yeah.
conceptually like realizing like he literally did this experiment because he's so torn if his mother's like actually guilty or not, and he wants to redo it. I was just like, wow.
For me was when she's at the very end that she sang. It's not because it's like my favorite. It's just like that stood out for me.
Impactful.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be favorite. Moved you was made an impact.
When it was when they were like that was a little weird, like settle, because they were like celebrating that they won. But if I'm the mom, I would think like, okay, my son doesn't like believe me or like trust me, and I'm here like drinking
And
with the
partying.
lawyers and partying. Is like that's a little off.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that like script wise part, but it's okay. The part that I did like stood out is when she says like, "Oh, I thought like winning would feel like better or something,"
Yeah.
and after that, like they're like go close, and then she grabs his head, and that moment, I don't think that that was script, and because I was like watching it, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna like they're gonna do something or not," you know, and it's like I hope they don't, but I feel like that wasn't script, and that was
Yeah,
like
it
the
would've been
just
inappropriate.
they were there
Um,
like in the moment, and I felt like that felt very like alive, and
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. So
Yeah, it was like there in the script was probably like, oh, you should show like caring about the
Mhm.
parents specifically.
yeah, but you don't know how much caring.
Yeah.
So
But I thought that
because
was great. 'Cause it's
the
just,
relationship between them, I
yeah.
loved I love the relationship between
yeah,
all the
it's really good,
characters. They all make the strong points. They have like very like good reasons to be the way they were,
Yeah.
and yeah, like they show that the lawyer was like have feelings for her and everything, and
Yeah.
now I didn't know if she wanted to like reciprocate at the end. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen.
That bothered me so much. I was like, this is a little messed up.
Yeah, but no, you see, it
I
didn't
know,
happen.
I know.
She was like showing. I feel like in that scene, she was like saying like, "Thank you so much. I maybe have something for you, but now it's not the time. Nor I'm not in the right place. It's not
Oh.
anything."
Well, I understood. It was more like the time they had together was like that was in the past.
It was, but
Yeah.
I thought that he like
But
still
he
definitely
still was
liked
there.
her.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
still there.
Well,
Like
I'm sure, but like I don't know. I don't think that was like a big.
no,
part of it.
no, exactly. No, it wasn't like the main part. It wasn't like why like he was helping
Yeah.
her and
Yeah.
everything. No, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they had a history.
Yeah.
So that also influenced how they behave in the present.
Yeah.
So that's why that we could understand that moment because we knew their past.
Yeah.
So I think that was great.
Did you say your favorite thing?
No, I think it was like the aftermath of the dog test, where the kid is
Yeah.
just like he just wants someone just to tell him what he should do.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just like so desperate for
He
an
was
answer.
asking the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
March, yeah.
fucking help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt so authentic, all of
Yeah,
his
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my favorite like actor, but I'm gonna give it to the couple. Like when they were doing the reenactment and they were fighting,
That
like, it felt such a
scene.
natural, like a real fight. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, that
in it
scene
with
is
them. Like,
it was great.
Those two at that moment, like
Yeah,
killed it.
The
They were-
slow escalation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they were like having a normal conversation, and then she said something like, "Maybe he started that fight on purpose," and then I was like, "I think he did."
I think he
was-
did.
Yeah,
Me too.
he knew he was recording it, so
Exactly.
He was trying to, like,
Exactly.
Yeah, incite her.
Yeah, he was trying to incite it because she was like calm at first, and then he just
Yeah,
kept pushing.
he was pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but I had the impression that she's always like that.
she's an awful person.
Well, like dismissive and kind of. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
that's not like the problems they had didn't come out of nowhere. It was both sides.
Wait, in that argument,
And that's definitely
what
like
side
both
what
people.
side would you pick? Him or hers?
In that interaction,
In that
I was
argument.
on her side like most of it.
I have on her side too.
Yeah. Because he was just like making excuses. Like
Exactly. That's that's the good part of the movie, that it makes you think like
Yeah.
how like it touches you in some way. So it's like he wasn't accepting like what he has done, and she was like, well, that's what you chose. So if you want something to change,
Yeah.
like do it, but just don't complain.
Yeah, but I can
Um,
definitely see where he's coming from. Like she's clearly very dismissive.
Yeah,
in
she
general.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
And not very.
And,
she doesn't
and
care.
selfish. She was.
She
Yeah,
was
she
like
was
more.
selfish.
She was very practical instead of like yeah. But
Favorite character, actor.
I think, I mean, the boy was brilliant, but I have to go to the mom because you don't see like I don't not that type of mom, but I don't know. I felt like she brought like a
Yeah.
different character,
Yeah, she's like not a great mom. Clearly,
Yeah.
but,
but
That's
not
very-
a bad
yeah,
one.
it's very easy to go. It's very easy in that role to be like clearly good or clearly bad. It's just
Yeah.
kind of
In the
she's just a
between,
person,
exactly.
Yeah.
She's just a
exactly.
messy person.
Exactly. It was. I think. Yeah, that was very well done.
Yeah.
Both of them were the best.
Both
They were.
of them were the best.
They were.
Awesome. So halfway through the movie, like at the 50% point, did you think she was guilty or not guilty?
I did not think she was guilty just because of how honest she was being about everything. I was like, you don't like be that honest and like admit like all
But
your
she wasn't
fights.
being honest.
Well,
No,
she wasn't
she
for
was
the most
clearly-
part.
She
clearly not
lied.
being honest.
She lied
She was
about
for
the
the
bruise.
No. Every time there was a thing, it's because she was intentionally hiding something. Like at every stage, she was.
She wasn't
things.
hiding that like they
So like
had problems and all of this stuff, but
the extent, yeah. So
okay, because
yeah.
like obviously it would make her like
Look
look
bad.
guilty.
Yeah, I know.
But-
I'm just saying, like in the concept of the movie, she is hiding a lot of things. That's
I
why
just
there's-
felt like she
Because
ended
also-
up being honest about everything, and like you wouldn't have been that honest, and you would have been making more excuses and trying to hide more if you were guilty.
But
There
she-
were things she said that like I definitely
Yes.
wouldn't have said if I was guilty.
Well, that's because she'd already been found out. That's like they already caught her in her lie, and so now that
I thought she was guilty halfway through.
I didn't.
I
No,
don't
she
think. No, I know because when the first when the lawyer detective whatever the guy comes to her house and
Yeah.
to help her,
Yeah.
they went to like to see like where he fell from, and that spot it's very difficult to like to push someone in there, you know, like, and it's like a weird spot. There's no like space. You cannot even run properly. You can, I don't know, like
Well,
the
they were-
window was like high.
Well, they were saying it wasn't a foot. Like first, she would have been hit in the head. And
It
then-
seems like she didn't even have like ceiling. fans.
Yeah, there was like even
Yeah.
room to like have that big of a violin like like
And then
place,
get him through
like,
that
space.
tiny triangle window.
Yeah, it
yeah,
was so
exactly.
small.
So first of all,
Yeah.
I think no, and then when they like explain, I saw the argument and I saw like she was like trying to commit. She explained that episode that trying to commit suicide and everything. Feel like
Yeah, but that's like very suspicious.
it is
Yeah,
very
especially
Especially when
that
it's
was
like,
very
especially when it comes
suspicious.
like much after the fact.
I know.
Yeah.
I
That-
thought
that is
about
very,
it.
very,
I
very
know. I
suspicious.
thought about it, but you know
Like, if
what?
I was on the jury, and then just like, like
No.
hours,
She
like
remembered
days.
later.
Wait,
oh, I
no,
remember
wait.
he was trying to
No.
commit suicide.
Okay, that's-
so convenient.
No, that's true. But
It's a very
haven't
convenient
ever
memory.
it didn't like didn't have ever happened to you that
No, I know.
sometimes
It's-
stop. Let me finish. When you like see something happen and then you connect the dots like in like right after it's like
Yeah.
oh that now makes so much sense. So
Yeah.
now like when she explained about the pills and everything for her like about the suicide like it made more sense for her. So that's why she explained it there.
I know, but like if you're looking at it again, if you're on the jury and someone just conveniently has, then the only alternative to murder is suicide, and then you just conveniently remember, oh yeah, he was trying to commit suicide, and nobody else saw it, and you just remembered after they told you the only other explanation is suicide. That's so suspicious. And she
I
would
thought
have
it
been
was-
marked guilty if her son did not
Yeah.
corroborate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one would have.
I thought it was super suspicious too.
Yeah.
And then once the son described like the incident that happened with the dog,
Yeah.
with that
Exactly.
contributing to that, I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, that like makes me even more so like validate her story.
Yeah.
But
I did believe her.
I more believed her just because, like, in the beginning, she's clearly like screaming and crying, and so that's pretty hard to.
But
fake.
what the
Yeah,
part,
I
the
thought-
part,
yeah, I
yeah,
thought
and the
she-
part that, well, they're faking their actors, but yeah.
But the character's not
The
an
character,
actor.
no.
Yeah.
But
And and her
also,
emotions are so like hard. She doesn't really show emotions very much.
yes, exactly.
So like for her
Yeah.
to be like upset and crying and stuff, it's
And-
that's probably not.
Yeah, but also like
Yeah.
she knew like went to like have a nap, like when like with that music like blasting and everything. That point is like the most like weak for me. Like for her, like to
Yeah.
like have like her a lullaby. How is it called? Alibi.
Alibi. She said she had earplugs though.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh, but they fall out, and she only hears her son scream
exactly
over the noise of that.
So that's
It's like-
that's the weak part. So that's why I think like the script was well done because you can like have a strong opinion about one side or the other
Yeah.
because all the explanations and points that they are in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it is.
So it is good.
And I felt like it would have been an easier way for him to kill himself than to like jump off, like a less painful way than jumping off that building and hitting your head and dying in the snow. It just seemed kind of suspicious.
Well, people, suicide just happens. People aren't always thinking it through.
yeah.
It's kind of suicide.
Well, I think mine flew off.
Oh my god.
All right, what would you change about the movie?
I wish that they did a little bit more in terms of like when the movie's called Anatomy of a Fall, at some point I was expecting a lot more like analysis of like the fall. I wanted just like a little bit more like Dexter court case level like blood spatter analysis, or I mean they touched on it. They did the dummies with the
I
bodies
think
and the
that's
weight.
the point, is that they have almost nothing.
Yes.
And so
I
it's
know.
all speculation.
And that blood spatter was
Exactly.
kind
And
of.
I think, and so the title's
This
almost,
body is so bad.
the title's
It's
almost like a, I don't know, like a parody, where it's like, it's
Yeah,
not really,
it's
there's
not-
really
yeah.
no dissect, they really have nothing.
they
other
have
than-
nothing.
Other
They
than
have
she was in the
nothing.
house and there's these blood splatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like the blood splatter, like experts, was all bullshit anyway. Because you're just gonna say the only way that blood got that way was if it happened this way.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nah.
How do you know?
I don't know. I just wish like, but they were
could
saying
have
that he
shot-
was like hit when he was like in the attic, and there's like never any mention. Like, guess what? There's no
No
blood
DNA.
in the
Yeah,
attic,
Yeah.
and that was like
Nor-
my
nor
biggest
tool,
thing.
like,
Like,
with blood or
like,
like
Yeah,
what the
like, they don't
heck?
have no weapon, nothing.
Exactly.
yeah, like how can you even begin to like?
To indict
Frame
her
her
at
as
all.
guilty.
Well, that's where
Yeah.
it's like, do we still understand how the French courts work?
I know,
Because
I know.
she would never have been indicted.
Yeah.
She might have been on trial in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh.
With that.
I think maybe, but like they would have like, then like there's no murder weapon.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
murder weapon. There's no blood on the
anywhere
wall.
but
No
there.
Exactly.
DNA.
That was the part that drove
Yeah.
me crazy.
Got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Length maybe a little bit long.
It's a little bit long.
No.
Some of the scenes felt extended to me, but I think it. As I was sitting there, like waiting for them to move to the next scene, I was like, I'm thinking about everything that's happening,
Yeah.
and I think that was the point of the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I
there's
think like the
There's no reason to
pace
just chunk scenes out.
exactly
Yeah.
to digest what was
Yeah.
happening.
It didn't feel like there were any unnecessary scenes.
No.
All right. And so, are you getting in the end? Are you recommending this movie to
I do.
friends and family?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Mm-hmm.
All right, good. So we really don't know these French actors, so we can't recommend their other movies. But how about a sequel, prequel, spinoff?
No.
What would you?
No.
One character from this movie you
No.
have to spin off. Come on.
No.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? I want a spin-off that's just the French court
French
system.
court system.
That's not these characters.
Yeah, I want the French Law and Order.
Yeah.
The prosecutor guy. He seemed.
Oh my God, he made me so mad.
I didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
What's his job?
Yeah, he did a good job acting it.
No, I felt like it was a bad acting.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because he was over the top. And you can be over the top and believe it.
But, like,
and
that's-
he was over the top
well,
and
but
I didn't
that's,
believe
like-
it.
That's like the prosecutor's role is also to be over the top. I mean, so he's
Yes,
filling
but
that
no.
On the
role.
show.
Yes, but I didn't like him.
We're sorry, Antoine Renard said we did
Uh,
that. Sarah didn't.
I'm
like your
sorry,
performance. She said you were.
Yeah, I disagree completely.
She said you should have been in Marvels instead.
Correct, you see?
Oh my God.
All right, let's give our shout outs of the week. And Sarah's gonna go first since she's so well prepared today.
I'm so well prepared.
Yeah.
I had like some, but I wasn't like, I don't know which one to say first. I'm gonna shout out like to my friends that are like making a movie this weekend. Well, a short film. And
Movie's a movie.
yeah, it's a
Still
short
lot-
film
still a lot of
movie.
work.
And it's a lot of work. They're putting so much effort into it. I also like helping, and it is a lot. So I can appreciate everything that's happening in
Yeah.
the movies now. Well, I was before, but now it's even like worse. Like how hard it is like to write a kind of like good flowy like script, like find the scenes, find like places, find like the characters, like the actors that gonna embody that characters, those characters. So shout out to everyone that is brave enough to put people together and do this.
Nice, Riley.
I was debating whether to shout this out or not because it actually annoyed me so much in the beginning of the film, but I hadn't heard 50 Cent in a long
I know.
time.
It was
And
a
I was
great
It was
day.
a snap dog.
Oh my
it
God.
wasn't 50 Cent. That's a Snoop Dogg.
No, it's not.
It is. It
It's
is.
50
That was
Cent.
50 Cent.
It's 50
And they
Cent?
mentioned it
It's
in the movie,
50
yeah.
Cent.
Ah, vale. I
And it
thought
was
it was
some
Snoop Dogg.
reggae version
Like a
of
cover.
It was a
Yeah.
reggae version of PIMP.
I don't know what you heard about
Yeah.
me.
And I'm if they keep playing this that much in this movie, I'm going to lose my mind.
I wonder if he gets paid.
And
as
with
a
that
cover.
instrument,
Ooh.
and
Yeah,
it was
with like the steel drum.
Yeah.
that was
Oh
crazy.
my god.
That was awesome.
But I'm glad that it tapered off in
So
the
shout
end.
out to 50 Cent. Good
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie.
Shout out is we just had like the first time in 50 years that the U.S. had something land on the moon.
Nice.
Was
I
that-
saw that.
What'd they do?
It landed something.
Yeah,
on
it
the
was a
moon.
private company too.
Hmm.
So they did what only a handful of countries in the world have done.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm going to shout out our new listener, Johnny, who reached out and said he
Hi,
enjoyed some
Johnny.
of our last episodes. So,
Thanks for
thank you
listening.
Johnny. And
Yeah.
also,
Thanks, Johnny, and everyone else.
And everyone
and
else.
Yeah.
all our listeners,
Our
we really
subscribers.
appreciate. And George Michael too. He came on the radio the other day, and I really like him. Rest in peace, George Michael. All right. Next week, guys, we're doing another Best Picture nominated movie called American Fiction. So we're going to cover a lot of these, and we'll see who wins. So
Yeah. why not?
until next time, for Charlie, Sarah, Riley, Trouble.